Guys, so we are finalizing our class this week with the technique that we've been working on all week. Some of us have been here all week, so you already have experience with it. But those of you that haven't been here, we're going to start fresh. So, like my fascination with jiu-jitsu, it's always like, you take one move, how come some people they succeed with it, how come some people don't? And maybe they all know the same exact details. And then what's the little gray area? So let's discuss. So a few things. The first thing is, a lot of times, we learn a guard pass. I try it, and then I don't have a couple little things there, and then I try to force it, and then everything goes south, and then now I don't believe in the technique anymore. And a lot of times people don't try it enough. So sometimes you can say it enough. So the way that a lot of people do it is their first attempt is not the one that succeeds. He pushes me away, and then I re-enter. And then I re-enter. And then on the fifth or sixth one, I'm a little bit closer. What I'm looking for is I'm looking to make sure that his knee is not in front of me in any capacity. So this knee, even if it's like a little bit here, a lot of times they try to pass from here, and as they try to pass, they regard and maybe even put me in a submission. And now I'm like, oh, the knee guard pass doesn't work. And look, he was even able to choke me. But it's not that it didn't work, it's because I rushed it, and I didn't set it up in a way that he would not have his main defenses, which is going to be his legs. So the main things that we're looking for to get rid of is we're looking to get rid of the knee, number one. We're looking to get rid of the foot, number two. And then we're looking to get rid of this foot, number three. So these are like the main things that we're looking for. The perfect positioning would be with my knee facing him, my shoulder blocking this top leg, and this leg being on the same level as his shoulder line. The reason is, if this foot is a little bit far back, he can always take that foot and he can start to block my hip and even start to leg lock me, right? So I don't want that to happen. If my shoulder is here, put your foot onto my shoulder now, it's impossible. Put your knee in front of me, very, very difficult. And now, it's very easy to clear his arms. I can clear his arms in a lot of ways. I could even start to set up submissions from him, all right? So let's look at a few factors that are going to make it work, and we're going to add one more factor of going left and right and get incrementally closer to what we want, right? So, let's say Naz is in front of me. Let's say he's in the butterfly guard. Okay, a lot of times I'm going to be here. This is a very common position. I'm going to be in a staggered stance. I want to generate some kind of movement, because if I try to push him from here, or I try to grab his legs, he can easily intercept me with 2-on-1s, right? So I'm going to start to move around him, and at some point, I'm going to push the shoulder, and I'm going to lift the ankle up, and then I'm going to grab the other ankle. Guys, it's very important that I'm grabbing the ankles, not the shins, because if I grab the shins, it's going to be very easy for him to start to put his pinky toes onto my biceps. So I want to control his ankle just like this. Now, I'm going to draw a semicircle. When I draw a semicircle, I'm creating an angle, and I'm pinning the bottom leg. Now, the hand goes from the ankle, it slides to his hip, and I'm using my forearm to open up his legs as much as I can. From here, I step in. In the perfect world, I would already fit myself here, but that rarely happens. And a lot of times, you meet a little piece of the knee. So instead of trying to force something that's not there, I'm going to choose to go to the other side. I'm going to take this hand out, and I'm going to grab his ankle, and I'm going to tripod into him. Where a lot of people go wrong here is the bottom person is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So don't frame against me. If I tripod and Naz is not framing, I can just push the leg out of the way and I already got my pass. So that's very unrealistic, and that's never going to happen, right? So people are going to be framing you, so as soon as I tripod, now he's carrying my weight. This makes my legs light. This hand goes onto the knee, and now as I circle, I push the legs to the other side, and now I'm a little bit closer. I'm able to get the pass, but let's assume he puts the knee again. All right, I gotta go again. Hand goes on the knee, grabbing the ankle, tripod up. Now as I circle, I'm sliding, and on the third one, now the leg is no longer in front of me. So I'm gonna keep going left and right, until I feel that there's no resistance from the bottom person, and now everything is open for me. So here there's a few ways. Now, if he's framing against me, a very popular one for a very good reason is a slap underhook, all right? So I'm gonna go to the wrist, and I slap this out of the way. Now I have clear connection going chest to chest. That's one way. Another way is he's pushing. I can chop at the arm, making his elbow go close to his body. And now I'm going to pummel and get an underhook. That's another way. Another way is swimming this hand on the inside. And now I push into him. As he pushes me back, I push his arm across his body. I can connect to an arm triangle. And lastly, sometimes if you pummel this one in, this is just not going to be strong enough. I can just collapse, and that frame is not going to be strong enough to hold me. I circle my knee out, and I get to side control. All right? So there's just so many different ways that you can bypass this frame as soon as their legs are not in the equation anymore. All right? So again, I'm in front of him. Okay, we're moving around. As we're moving around, I push and pull, and then I connect to an ankle. I circle, and as I circle, look at my posture, guys. I'm not too high, right?
My head is like tracking his knee. Now my hand goes to the hip, and I enter into the knee cut, but he put a little bit of the knee, or maybe he put a lot of the knee, either or. So I take it out, I go to his ankle, and I'm pinning it to his butt. All right, from here I tripod, and I go to the other side, and I'm switching. All right, he puts it in again maybe, I go to this other side, I'm a little bit closer, maybe he put it again, no problem. And then I'm gonna keep going until I'm so close that that leg is no longer in front of me. Chop, underhook, head control, I got my pass, all right? And you're wearing the person down constantly because they're constantly pushing you. It's like they're doing reps on the bench press and you're getting fatigued as you go left and right. Also, it's very hard for them to be offensive every time you're going left and right. They have to continue to follow you, so they're one step behind at all times. Cool? Let's play with this, guys, and we have a small part 2 right now. So the first one that we discussed here with Alex and Will, okay, is just the positioning of your body in relation to the person, right? So, and everyone does this. Not everyone, most people do it. So Alex, get into it. Okay, freeze. So, cameraman, over here, please. So right now, Alex, look at his toes and look at his body. It's better than what it was before, but it's kind of like almost away from me, right? So let's stay here. If I push Alex, he doesn't have a very good base. So what does Alex want? Alex wants this foot to be high, and he wants to turn his shoulders and his hips to face his training partner. You see that? Now, Will, how does that feel on the body?
Pretty,
depending, compared to what it was before.
It's more stable.
Exactly, it's more stable, and now he feels more ground. Now, if we push Alex, he's very, very stable. Okay, this is idea number 1. Idea number 2, if Alex, if you can come out of there for a second. A lot of us, what we're doing is, we are not really creating an angle. We're like almost in the same line, and then we're just like coming in, and then now we're hitting lateral resistance. What you want to do is, guys, you want to create a semicircle. You want to attack the person at this angle here. When you're here, this leg is pinned. Now, look at how it's so easy to come in and now jam them up and be in their face. Does that make sense? So you want to draw a little circle with your feet and then go. He puts the knee. All right, I got to go the other side. I lean, I'm drawing a circle onto the other side, and then I'm going again. And I'll keep going, I'll keep going. By the way, we chose knee cut to knee cut. You could do anything, all right? So, for example, if I start to go to the ankle, as I circle, he follows me. I go to the knee, and I Toriando him. Maybe I'm going to hit a Toriando, maybe hit a leg drop. Whatever the case is, you can hit anything that you want, so, okay? Guys, for the part 2, we're going to go over a very common defense that people employ. Anytime people are knee cutting me, is they put their foot like this. All right, so this is a really, really strong counter to the person's knee cut. This is now going to be the frame against them. And not only can it be a frame, I can also attack, and I can look to entangle my training partner or opponent's legs. And I can use their knee cut to submit them in one shot. So anytime, let's turn this way now. Anytime you're here, and the reason that happens is that your back leg is a little bit shallow. That's why this happens, right? Anytime this foot comes here, absolutely you can step over it, but sometimes you step over it, and then they strip your grip, and they get it right back. All right, so this is a great time to go to the other direction as well. So now I'm gonna go to the ankle, I'm gonna tripod, and I'm gonna go to the other ankle frame. Same lean, I'm gonna circle, and as I circle, at this moment, I switch. And once I switch, now I go there again. He puts the foot again, I go to the ankle, I tripod up, I circle, I switch, and then I can go to the other side. Same exact thing, except we're going to deal with that ankle instead of my hand on the person's knee. Again, this is a very, very strong defense. Anytime you're knee cutting somebody, people call it key master, people call it K guard. Again, it's really, really strong. Also, if he doesn't use it to attack me, he could just use this to square up with me. Yeah, exactly. Now maybe you'll get a 2-on-1, go for an open guard, whatever, right? So anytime that foot comes in there, we got to deal with it. If I did a good job and I put my foot really high, it's going to be almost impossible for them to get it. And just quickly to talk about something, a lot of newer students, they're like, I don't want to put my foot here because people are going to grab it. If someone grabs your foot here, this is the best thing that can happen to you, all right? Because now you can darce them, now you can arm triangle them, or I'll grab the head and I'll just scroll and I'll force chest to chest half it. So don't be afraid for the person grabbing your leg, all right? It's not going to be very effective. And you can use that against them heavily. All right? We're going to try this.